Hey everyone, I'm Amanda Balionis. Welcome into what will become now a weekly beginner yoga and breath work series. We're really excited to bring this to you. When you're working from home, a lot of times we're in these makeshift office desk areas, which are really bad for your posture, not great for your mind either. So we're really gonna bring this to you. It's just a quick 10-minute series that you can do every week to hopefully clear your mind, realign your body, offset all of the kind of negative, stressful things that can happen when we're working from home. It can be really physically and emotionally draining, so we're here to help. For those who don't know me, I am an announcer for CBS Sports, for golf, for college football, for NFL as well. But until we can get back out there on the golf course, on the PGA Tour, I'm right here in my living room, also doing a lot of breath work and yoga flows just to keep myself honestly sane during these times. So wherever you are right now, I encourage you, if you have your yoga mat, roll that out. If you don't have a mat, it doesn't matter. Just find a carpeted soft area that you be comfortable in, and then come into either a seated position with your palms faced either up if you want to receive, or face down onto your thighs if you need a little bit more grounding, or if you want to come into child's pose, come into child's pose now. So come to that tabletop position with your shoulders stacked over your wrists. You want your hips stacked over your knees, and then you want to bring your knees to the outer edges of your mat and your feet to touch, and then simply sink your hips back towards your heels as you reach your arms towards the front part of your room or mat, and then drop your head down onto the carpeted area or your mat and close your eyes. And we're going to simply just breathe here. Deep inhales and exhales. Let it out. And clear your mind of whatever you're thinking about that maybe didn't go right in the past, maybe an hour ago, a week ago, a month ago. It doesn't matter right here. And also try to clear your mind of all of the things you need to do for the rest of your day and for your week. All you need to do right now is just be here, thinking about nothing except connecting your mind to your breath, to your body. So deep inhales, if it helps, you can count internally. Inhale 2, 3, 4, hold at the top, and exhale all of your belly out. 2, 3, 4, hold at the bottom. Deep inhale, fill up your lungs all the way here with a slow and steady breath of 2, 3, 4, hold at the top for 1 beat, and then exhale, clearing out your whole belly. 2, 3, 4. And I'll let you do that a couple more times to your own breath, to your own counting, thinking about nothing else except connecting yourself to this moment. Now, when you come to the bottom of your last exhale, no matter where you are, whether you're in seated or in child's pose, come to that tabletop position. So once again, you want to stack your shoulders right over your wrists. You want to stack your hips right over your knees, and you're on the tops of your feet as well. And then when you're ready, keep your gaze down right in front of you and stretch your right arm thumb up towards the front of the room while taking your left leg straight back towards the back of the room with your foot flexed like you're gonna stamp onto the back wall. And really engage your core here and hold this for 1 deep inhale and exhale, come back to neutral tabletop. And then on your next inhale, reach your left arm with your thumb facing up towards the front of the room, pressing your right leg straight back behind you, keeping your hips in line with one another, and that foot flexed once again. Deep inhale, exhale, let it go. Do that one more time with your right arm coming out, your left leg going behind you. Deep inhale. Exhale, come back to tabletop. And then one more, left arm straight out, thumb up, right leg straight to the back of the room, hips in line. and exhale, come back to tabletop. Now we're gonna get into our cat-cow poses. So when you're ready on your next inhale, drop your belly down as far as you can towards the ground and then lift your head up towards the sky. Inhale, and then on your next exhale, we're gonna come to cat pose. So you wanna arch your back as high as you can towards the ceiling, taking your gaze in between your legs. So again, matching each inhale to a movement, and then on your exhale, come into the next movement and move your body here as much as you need to let it feel good. Maybe you shake your hips out from left to right. Maybe you roll yourself in that cat pose from front to back, whatever feels good here. Just make sure you're moving your neck too, up and back with the rest of your body, really offsetting all of that time we spend crunching the tops of our spine and our neck, looking at our phones or our computers. Now, when you come to the bottom of your next exhale, you're going to come back to that neutral tabletop position and then press yourself into downward facing dog. So downward facing dog is not intimidating if you've never done it before. You simply want to send your hips up towards the ceiling, creating an inverted V shape with your body. Now, your knees can bend as much as you need to here. If you have tight hamstrings, that is totally fine. I definitely bend my knees deeply on my first downward dog of the day. You want to make sure that your feet are hip width distance apart, and you want to make sure that your feet and hands are all facing 12 o'clock, and your hands are also shoulder width distance apart. Press your shoulder blades in and down your back here. Make sure your heels are not touching your yoga mat. If they are, simply walk your dog out a little bit more. And then breathe here. Your gaze is in between your feet. Deep inhale, exhale, let it out. Deep inhale, exhale, let it out. Now look towards the front of your mat or in between your hands and take your left foot behind your left wrist, your right foot behind your right wrist, and come into a forward fold ragdoll. So ragdoll, once again, both feet are about hip width distance apart or wider, and then you want to clasp opposite elbows, and you can either clasp them in front of you or behind your legs. That's a really good lower back release. Or you can simply clasp your hands at the base of your back and then fold your arms over if your shoulders are tight. Breathe deeply here. Maybe you shake your head yes and then no, but always ending on a yes. Or maybe you're swaying side to side here. Just let this feel good. And again, whatever comes up in your mind, be kind to yourself, acknowledge it, but then let it go and come back to your body and your breath. Deep inhale, exhale, let it go. Now when you're ready, toe heel your feet together, unclasp your arms, and then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll yourself up into mountain pose, Tadasana. So your feet are together, but there's a slight space in between your heels, and you want to make sure you have a neutral spine. So tuck the front of your pelvis as your tailbone descends, especially if you're feeling like your booty is sticking out and you have that arch in your lower back. You want a straight, neutral spine here. And then really spark your fingers and your arms long and straight towards the ceiling. Take your gaze up in between your hands. Inhale, exhale. When you're ready, drop your right arm towards your side and then reach your left arm up and over towards the right side of the room, taking your gaze once again either up towards your upper hand or down at your side, whatever feels comfortable. One more deep inhale here. Get that good side body stretch. And then exhale, come back to neutral. And then take your right arm over to the left side of the room. Again, your gaze is either up towards your upper arm or down at your left side. Let this feel good. Inhale, exhale, let it go. Bring your hands once again up onto either side of your head and then fold all the way down slowly into forward fold. Good. Halfway lift to a flat back. And then you want to forward fold once again. Halfway lift yourself up to a flat back. Bend your knees as much as you need to here to create a tabletop position. And then when you're ready, plant your hands in front of your feet and then step back into a high plank position. From that high plank, you can hold it here as long as you want to, really engaging your entire core, making sure your heels are stacked over your toes and your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. And then when you're ready, come back into your downward facing dog. And then if this is enough for you, we're gonna end our series here. You can drop back either into a seated position or into your child's pose and breathe just a couple more times to clear your mind. But if you want to, you could always do that series again of hopping to the front of your mat and then rising up into your Tadasana, side stretch, forward fold, step back into high plank. So you can do that as many times as you want to let that feel good. We're gonna continue to build off of this breath work and flow movement as well. But for now, that's a great starting point and where we're going to leave you this week. We would love to hear from you. So we are gonna have some giveaways going on as these weeks continue to unfold. But for now, namaste, stay healthy, stay safe, make the time for yourself that you need to clear your mind, and we'll see you next time.